Recording. Okay, so I hope all of you must have installed Python from this website. So those who have not, I would request them, they can download and install in the system. Okay. So once you install the system, you can type here IDLE. Okay, and open this. So this basically opens you one like shell, okay, shell window or interpreter. So whatever you type here, uh, it will be printing. For example, if I print here 2 plus 3, it will give us 5. Because we don't need explicit keyword here like print. Okay. But here we will not be writing our program. So once you open idle, you have to click on this file and a new file. So you will get a new window. Okay. So here we are going to execute our programs in this, write our program and then execute from this place. Okay, so let's come to the topic. Okay, so let me just declare one variable called number. Okay. First number equals to 10, second number equals to 20. I will just show you how we write a small program and then how we execute it. Okay, then we will try to understand what are the things involved here. Okay, and then I am doing an addition of these two numbers. Okay, and then I'm going to print this now. Okay, so once we write our program, we have to go to file, save as. Okay, inside save as, you have to save it where you want to save, in which folder. So this is my Python weekend, weekdays October batch. Okay, day 1. Just mentioning the name as first program. And I have to save with .py extension. Okay, guys, this is important to understand. .py I'm giving here. Okay, .py denotes Python 5. I'm saving this. Okay, you have to save your program with .py extension. Okay, and I have given a hash here. Okay, this hash. Okay, this is for comments. When we'll run the program, it is not going to execute this particular line because we have given a hash sign. This denotes that this is a comment. Okay, this is not a statement in the program. So I save it and then we have a run option here. We click on run module. So we'll see the output is 30 that we are getting. Let's make the output a little bit better. And then if we run this, so sum of the two numbers is 30. Okay, so so it's we have run from here. Okay, there is one more place from where you can run your program, same program, if you open command prompt in your window. Okay, and if we navigate to that particular path where we have saved our program, so in this we have this particular path. So I will navigate there. Okay, and then you can just type here Python and the name of the program. This is first program. Okay, .py. So if you see, it's a little bit small, I think, but if you see, we are getting the same output here. Okay, so this was just I wrote one sample program and I just executed from two places, one from command prompt in your system and other from this ideal window. Okay, guys. So once you have installed Python in your system, you can check whether it is installed properly or not by typing this command here. Okay, like in command prompt, if you type this python hyphen version.
Vanis, Rakesh here. Good morning.
Yes, what's your good name, sir?
Rakesh.
Rakesh. Yes, Rakesh.
So can you please ping the link to install the Python?
Sure, sure. I will. Okay. So once you have installed it successfully, you will come to your command prompt and you will type this python hyphen version. It will show you the version of the Python which is installed in your system. So you can be sure, okay, Python has been properly installed in my system. Okay. So one of the questions sometimes they ask in interviews is like, which version of Python you are using. This is a very basic question. Okay. But we should be knowing it, which version of Python you are using in your project. So let's start then with this particular statement. We'll start. We have declared one variable called first number, and we have given one value as 10 here. Okay. So this first number, this is called a variable. First number is called a variable. Okay. And this equals to sign what is there. Okay. This is called an assignment operator. Okay. I will tell you what are operators. Just for the time being, bear with me a little bit. So this equals to sign what we have given. This is an assignment operator. And the value which we have given 10, this is called, technically speaking, we can this is called a literal. And here, if it is 10, right, uh, we can call it integer literal. So this is an integer. Okay, so first number is a variable, equals to sign is an assignment operator, and 10 is the value. You can normally say it's a value, or technically, if you speak, it's called an integer literal. Okay. So what is a variable first? We'll come to this. So what is a variable? So variable is used to store the values in the program that we can use later also. Okay. We used to store values that we can use anytime in our program. Okay. So what happens when you declare a variable like this? So this is the variable name, first number. Increase the font. Okay, and inside memory, basically a memory, and the value is residing here 10. Okay, and this is pointing to this. Very similarly, we created another variable called second num. and it is pointing to in memory the value will be present, and this particular variable is pointing here. Okay, so here what we are doing, we are not typing the type of the variable. If you see in other programming languages like Java, we have to type int for showing this is an integer. Okay, uh string for showing that a number is integer. We are not typing the data type of the variable here. So in Python, it is taking it will understand automatically what is the data type. Okay, we don't have to explicitly mention. Okay, so how do we know what type of data is this? So we can check it with the help of this type variable. Okay, type is a type function. Okay, type, and you give the variable name what you are using here. Okay, so we have to print this. Save it, run this. So if you see, what is the type? It is showing int, right? Class int. Is this visible to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I denotes int denotes an integer value. Okay, int denotes an integer value. Similarly, if we change the type from 10 to 10.3, okay, if we change the variable a value 10.3, and if we run this, so what is the type now, guys? This is float. Okay. Similarly, if we put it into quotes, okay, a double quote or a single quote, and then if you check what is the type of this is a string.
So we don't have to define the particular data type here.
Correct. So that is why Python is called dynamically typed language, because we don't have to type the data type. That is why Python is called dynamically typed language. Okay, guys. So is this clear why Python is called dynamically typed? Any doubts so far to anyone?
Because we are not defining the data type. That's
Yes. Yes, Rakesh.
Just one thing. Yeah. So in order to define any variable,
Yes.
it is mandatory that there should not be any space in between words, like you have written first underscore num. Like if I will remove underscore, then
Yes.
then will there be any problem?
Yes, it will give an error. We have some rules, what value we can use it as a variable name. I will just discuss. We have some rules for what are the what is allowed, what is not allowed in the variable name. So we will be discussing this shortly, Rakesh. So this will give us an error. If we run this, it's telling me invalid syntax.
Okay, so do we need to write the syntax in the same format all the time by using the underscore?
No, this is optional, but this
Okay.
is the best practice in Python. It comes under best practices. Like if you have more than one word, if you have more than, if your variable name, if your variable name is having more than one word, we separate it with an underscore. Okay, guys.
Oh.
Like in Python, what do? We don't use underscore. In Python, we start the next word with a capital letter. But in sorry, in Java, we do that. In Python, we separate it with an underscore. Okay, guys, is that clear?
Yes.
In any case, specific.
Can you repeat,
or
please?
it is should be in lower case.
Yeah. Shall I repeat this?
Yeah, just recap.
Sure. So I was saying you can write like this also. This is a valid variable name. Okay. But this does not come under best practices. Under best practices, you have to, if there are more than one word in a variable name, for example, first num, right? First is one word, num is second word. So whenever we have more than one words, we separate it with an underscore like this.
Okay.
Although you can use it first num, this is also valid. There is no problem in this. It will run perfectly. Okay, there is no problem in this, but that is not the best practices. Is that clear, guys?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this variable name, these are called, they can be broadly classified, variable name or function name, can be called as identifiers. Okay, any variable name, here we are seeing variable, so we are coming across variable name. Okay, when we'll use function, we'll come across function name. When we will come across, when we will use classes, there will be class name. Okay, so broadly they can be called as identifiers. Okay, so identifiers is nothing, it's like a name. You are giving a name to a function or a variable to identify it uniquely. Okay, this is called identifiers. So there are some rules, like what values you can use for identifiers. Okay, identifiers. Okay, first rule is, we'll give it point wise here. Okay, so number one, it should start with character uh, or underscore. So suppose in this first num, I change it. I'm giving a numeric value here, 1. Okay. So if I try to run this, so we'll get an error, invalid decimal literal. Okay, because the what is the rule? It should either start with a character or an underscore. Okay, I hope you guys understand what is underscore, the one which we used here. Okay, underscore from your keyboard, you can get it underscore.
Yes.
Okay,
Right.
so if I use underscore here and try to run this, since see this first num, is this defined anywhere earlier? We are getting error. This first num is not defined. Can anyone tell me why we are getting this error? First num is not defined.
Because we don't have the first num now.
Yes, because it is not able to understand what is first num. Where is first
Yes.
num? Because we have changed the name here, right? So let's make here also underscore. Okay. Let's try to run this. What again? We are missing something. Where is it? What is the error now? IRS num is not defined underscore. Do you mean IRSTNUM?
We have not placed the underscore between first
Correct.
and this.
Before num.
Correct. Okay. Now let's try to run this. Okay, so we can understand that this is a valid name, right? With underscore. This was the first rule. What is the second rule? Rule number 2 is, other than underscore, you cannot use any special character. What do you mean by special characters? Like characters other than numerical value, or uh, like or characters like other than underscore, any special characters. For example, I have given first num, right? So instead of first num, if I give first underscore num, I give first hash num. Okay, or maybe first star num. So let's try to run this. So we are getting some error. Okay, cannot assign to expression. So star becomes an expression here. We'll tell you what is expression, or we can give a dollar first, dollar num. Let's try to run this. Invalid syntax. Okay, so we can only have other than character and numerical value, we can only have underscore. We cannot have any other special characters. Is that clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So we have seen two rules. Third rule should be there should not be any space. There should not be any space. Okay. Like we just now, there was a question asked, if we give a space, what will happen? So if we give a space, we will get error. Okay. Fourth rule, it should not be a reserved keyword. Okay. It should not be a reserved keyword. So what do you mean reserved keyword? Okay. There are some special keywords which are used by, Python, which have a predefined meaning. Okay. Which have a predefined function in Python. Okay. Which have a predefined function that we cannot use. For example, if you want to see like what are the reserved keywords, we can go here and type help keywords. Okay, so you see we get it here is a list of Python keywords. So these keywords we cannot use as variable name, these many keywords, because they have some special function in Python which is already predefined. Okay, so if I try to suppose I'm using this false value here in the place of first num. Not assigned to for if we use for example from, if I'm just typing here from, if I try to run this, invalid syntax. Okay, so is it clear, guys? It should not be a reserved keyword. There should not be any space other than underscore, any special characters. It should start with the character underscore. So there may be one or two extra rules which I am not able to recall now, but I will give you. There are I think 5, 6 rules. I will give you one document where we'll have all the rules. Okay. Right now I can recall these four. These four are the primary ones. Any questions, guys, so far from this? Are we good, everyone? So
Yeah, so far so good.
Yep.
yep. So I want the class to be more interactive. You can ask, any question. Maybe it may be a very simple question, but I like that way. That makes the class interesting. Also, I also learn sometimes many new things because Python is like an ocean. No one can claim that I know everything in Python. Okay, so once you ask questions, there might be a few things I also might not be knowing. So it will help me also learning new things. Okay, so let's come here. So it's an open source. We understood what is open source. Okay, high level language. Okay, so high level language is like uh, high level language is like we can understand that language. Okay, high level language. So Python is high level language. Like it is uh similar to the language like English, similar to the language like English, or which people can understand. Okay. Okay, there's something called low level language, just the opposite of this. Okay. You can call a low level language, uh, or you can call it machine understandable code. Okay. Machine understandable code which is in zeros and ones, okay, we will not be able to understand. They will convert what program we have written here. Once they convert that into a byte code, it will be in zeros and ones that only machine can understand. It's not human readable. Okay, so that is low level language. High level languages is very, this Python is like
Can you mute?
sure.
Background noise is coming.
Correct. It's the option.
So Danish, you are saying that Python is a high level language. Then the second line saying that it's a low level language.
No, I just told you the difference between high level and low level language.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not getting the option to mute.
We can request all to write who are asking, then they can unmute, right? Mute after.
Yeah, if you go to participants,
Yes, we are muting ourselves, no problem.
okay, yeah. Yeah, sure. So it's a high level language we understood, okay. And what is the difference between a high level, low level language? We understood that also. And next point is dynamically typed language we understood. Case sensitive. Okay. Case sensitive.
Danish, sorry
Yes.
to interrupt you. Can you please explain again what do we mean by open source?
Yes, open source is like you don't have to pay anything for to use that software. For example, Python is
Okay.
an open source. You can download and install. But if you see
Okay.
there are paid versions of many softwares that you have to pay before using it. So those are not open source.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, welcome. So we understood this. Python is case sensitive. Like suppose we are uh, printing here, right? If instead of small p, I give a capital P here, okay, we will get error. Print is not defined. Did you mean print? So we have to be careful with the like this what case we are using. Okay. So this is case sensitive. Platform independent. This is a good question. They asked this question in interview. Why is Python platform independent? Okay. And what was the indentation matter? Okay. So to make you understand platform independent, I have made one document. Okay. So right now what we are seeing, we are writing a Python program .py file. Okay. And we are running it. We are seeing the output. Okay. This is right now what we are seeing, what happens. But there are few things that happen internally. Okay. What are those few things that we are not able to see? You see, we are creating any file called .py file. Okay. So what happens internally? First, this .py file is converted to .pyc file. This is happening internally, not visible to us. Okay. So after compilation, we are getting a file will be generated called .pyc file. Okay. This file is taken up by the virtual machine, okay, which is having an interpreter to convert this into machine code, zeros and ones. Okay. And this machine code will be run by the interpreter. We'll get the final output. Okay. So now the question comes, why Python is platform independent. So once you get this .pyc file, okay, now this .pyc file can be run by any system. Okay, it can be run in Linux, it can be run in Windows, it can be run in MacBook. Okay, because each each system like Windows, we installed suppose we install this. Okay, so this was specific to Windows. So we are installing an interpreter. Okay, this is specific to Windows. Similarly, you can, if you see, we have option for Linux, we have option for Mac. Okay, they can also install. Okay, but I am running this code in my Windows and I'm sharing this .pyc file with other folks who are using other system like Linux or MacBook. They will also be able to run this same program in their system without installing Windows interpreter. They can, install the Python interpreter belonging to their operating system, but they can run the program which is created in some other operating system, Python program. So that makes Python platform independent. Is that clear, guys? To everyone, any questions here? Why Python is platform independent?
But here we are not using any compiler, right? See, in Java, when we are creating the .java file, right? When we compile that, right? So we
Yes.
get the Java C file, right?
Yes, correct.
But in Python, we can't see that .pyc file, right?
Yes, the way we are doing right now, we are directly seeing this. We are seeing the py.py file, and then we are seeing the output.
Correct.
But internally, what happens that is not visible to us, the end users. This thing is happening. .pyc is also getting created, and then it is getting run by the interpreter.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but you are saying that I have written a code in Windows, right? And I
Yes.
have given share this file to the user which is using a Mac, right? So how it will work then?
Yes, you have to send this .pyc file.
But PYC file we can't see that, right?
Generally we don't see, but if there are few like you can generate .pyc file also from .py file. There are some commands which we have to use that will generate, like in idle or in any other IDE you are using to execute, you won't be able to see. But from command prompt only, if we have some commands, if we run that to generate that pyc file, we can see that .pyc file. If we run the program from here, there are some commands for that. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. And like this was one of the questions. Also, one of my participant was telling in an interview, they asked him what is .pyc file. Okay. So we have to understand the compiled
So
version of the Python file is .pyc.
if suppose somebody asks why the Python is independent, right? Platform independent.
Yes.
So whatever the figure you are showing that, right? So we can answer like that way. It generate the bytecode internal, then it convert to machine code. Then so that will be the correct answer to that question.
Yes, you can. So what I told you now, yes, it generates a .pyc file. Okay. And that .pyc file is that's run by the interpreter. Okay, so this .pyc file is platform independent. It can be run in other operating system also. Like we have generated one file, pyc file in Windows system. If we want to run that same program in other operating system, we can send .pyc file, and other systems also can run that program in their system without writing the program again from start.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yes,
What
that
PVM,
answer is
you have written something like PVM in the document, right? To do this conversion, PVM comes with the interpreter, right? What is that?
uh, Yes, so see, PVM is Python virtual machine. Those are internal things. Okay, so people in PVM we have some components. Interpreter is also part of PVM. So sometimes people call PVM also interpreter. Okay, these are like specific to. We are not going into internals. Okay, I just created a note for me also, for participant also, to refer to this. Okay,
Sure.
but there's nothing much to learn about PVM and all. They don't ask these questions. Okay, interpreter is sufficient. Okay, so I hope this answers this question. Why is Python platform independent?
Okay.
Okay, so any doubt, guys, so far? Are we good? Okay. So last point is indentation matters. So indentation, I will show you when we, right now there is no indentation in our program. Okay, when we will be using if else condition or other condition, then we will see what is indentation. So I will touch on that during that time on indentation. Okay, what is indentation? Okay, so now coming back to this Python, they call it interpreted language. Okay, interpreted language. So what is interpreted language and what is compiled language? Like just now, someone was saying, right, in Java, first we have to compile it, we get the Java C file and then we run it. But in Python, that happens internally. So basically what we have to understand, uh, compiled languages, we have, like Java, where the entire code is converted or is compiled and run at a time. Okay, uh, as a whole, run at a time. Can say that for interpreted language, it is program is executed your this what do you call it, line by line. It's not executed at all together. Okay, one line at a time it will take and then it will execute. But because when we compile in Java, right, it will compile the entire thing and it will show us the error there. The entire thing is getting, and then we run the entire code at a time. But here, it will go line by line sequentially. So that is why Python is called interpreted language. Okay, although that compilation is happening internally, but externally we see that we are writing the program and it is getting executed. There is no compiler in place. What we see. Okay, so so far I think we are good with the main features of Python. Okay, we just saw also how we declare a variable and what are the rules for variable name, right? So we are good till this. Let me open a new file now. This is getting routed. We'll take it here. So yeah. So some of the so this is an integer. This is the float data type. Okay. So how do we check the data type? We use the type function. Okay. We use the type function to see the data type of a variable. Okay. So we have first number, let's say it is 10, and let's have a second number where we are assigning the first number. Okay. Now, so what I have done, I have declared one variable first number and I have declared another variable second number. To that second number, I'm assigning this first number. Okay. So if I print the second number, can anyone guess what will be the output for this?
10.
10.
10. Why? Because what? See, first number is there. We are just giving the same value to second number. So both are 10. So if we run this, okay. Now, let me do one thing. I will change the value of first number now. First number equals to 20. Now tell me what will be the output for second number. Will
10.
it be 10 or it will be 20?
10.
10.
10.
10. Okay, everyone is telling 10. Let's see, it is 10 only. Okay. So what is happening internally? Let's see this. We are doing second number is first number, right? Okay. So what is happening? First number is 10. Okay, it's pointing to 10. Then we have created another variable called second number. So second number is pointing to first number. So but now the value of first number is 20, right? This is 20. But then second number should have printed 20, right? If this would have been the flow. Right, guys? But what happens in Python? Like when we do second number equals to first number, it will not point to first number. It will also point to that particular memory location. Okay. It will also point to this memory location. Okay. It will not point to this first number. It will also point to the value. Okay. Then the value of first number becomes 20. So what will happen? Now first number is 20. Second number is still 10. Okay, is this clear, guys? What happens here?
But how it's working? I didn't get that. See, 10 is having, first number is having a value 10, it's pointing to one memory location, right?
Yes.
That's fine. Then we are assigning the first number, second number equal to first number. So they are pointing to the same memory.
Hmm.
Okay. Now we have modified, assign a new number. So means new memory is assigned to first half.
Yes, first number, then we are pointing to 20. So this one, it will now point here.
Okay.
Okay, even though first number we have one created one memory location. Okay, but when we are reassigning the value, it points to a new memory location. So that is why this integer is called integer data type called immutable. So what do you mean by immutable? So once you create an object, once you create a variable, or okay, once you create a variable, the value or the memory you can say memory. So once you create a variable, a memory will be allocated to that. Okay, so that memory location, in that memory uh, location, you cannot reassign the same value. Okay, same variable. You cannot change. What do you call? You cannot change the memory. You cannot change the memory location. So basically, when we first number equals to 10, when this is happening, first number is 10, and then we are again making first number is 20. So now it is pointing to a new memory location. Okay, we cannot have the same memory location again for that. So that is why it is called immutable. Once you assign a value, it cannot be changed in that particular memory location. It will always be 10 here. You cannot make it 20. You cannot make this as 20 or 30. It will be 10 always.
It should throw some errors, because if you have defined the first number again, then it doesn't make any sense. Means we are not using the first num again, which is having the value of 20.
I didn't get your
So
question.
can you print your the location at ID, right? For the first and second?
Yes, if you want to see the memory location, we
Yep.
have one special function called ID. Okay. And this is going to show the memory location. Let's print it here also. This is the first memory location.
That will give the clear idea.
That will give the
Clear idea means,
this is the second memory location.
yeah. Same.
If you see the first memory location is this one, second memory location, both are different. 9568, that is 9248. And this is totally, it will be different for everyone's system. Everyone will be getting a different value.
Yeah.
Okay, this is so, but let's not move into mutable, immutable now. We will understand it, I think, better when we will come to some other data type like list and string. We'll be understanding it better. But just we have understood, like, when we declare a variable, how memory is allocated to that. Okay. When we again reassign or change the value, a new memory location will be allocated for that. That memory location will not be used. Okay. I think we are good till that point. Okay, we'll come to mutable, immutable later on in our course. Okay, let's stick to first number, second number. We have declared these two. Now there's a few in interview question they will ask you this. This is a very common question they ask. Very common question. How do we how can we swap the values of two numbers? How can we swap the values of two numbers without using any third variable? Okay, so let's see that. First, let's see with using a third variable, we have to swap these two values with using a third variable. Okay, so let's first have this print first number is. I would request guys, those who are not speaking, please go on mute. So I muted all. Yes, I got the option. I have muted all. Anyone wants to speak and unmute themselves. Okay. First number is first num. Second number is second num. Okay. So let's take the third variable. Let's give it only as underscore. Okay. So we want to change the swap the value of the first number and the second number. Okay. So what I am doing, I am taking the value of first number in this underscore variable. This is a valid variable name, right? Right. A variable can start with an underscore. Okay. So now the value of first number is in this. Okay. And then we can uh, give the first number the value as second number. Let's not let's use a temp name only. And then we are assigning the second number to temp. And then if we print this, let's run this program. See, first number is 10, second number is 20. Now we are seeing first number is 20, second number is 10. So we have done it with the help of a third variable here, with using a third variable. So any doubt in this, guys, what we are doing here? Anyone having any doubt? Are we clear how we swap two numbers using a third variable called temp?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now the interesting part of the question is we have to do it without using. This was with using. Now we have to swap the two numbers without using any third variable. Can anyone knows the answer for this?
Yes.
Yes, can you please tell me how we can do it?
First, we need to add both the numbers. And secondly, we need to remove from addition to second one, and we need to assign the value.
Exactly. So you are seeing like this, first number equals to first number plus second number, right?
Yes.
So after doing this, what will be the value of first number? 10 plus 20 is 30. Okay. After doing this, the value of first number will be 30. And what else we have to do then?
Then in second, we need to minus.
Second number. Minus with first number, is it?
Yes.
So then what will be the value of second number now?
Ten.
10.
Minus 10.
First number is 30 now, right? And then minus 20 will give you 10. But the value of first number is what now? Second number is not has taken the value of first number. But the value of first number is what now? How much?
30.
30, right? So how to get 20 there?
First number minus.
Minus second.
Second.
Okay. So we are all clear with these steps. Anyone having any doubt? They are welcome to ask.
Please repeat both the things.
You are not getting this?
No.
Yeah, sure. No issues. No issues. This is not this is not much complex for the people who are seeing for the first time. This might look a little bit tedious, like a bit difficult to understand, but it's very simple. See, we have to swap these two values. Okay, 10 and 20. I want to make you are clear with the objective. What we have to do, final output, what we need. This is yes, 10 20. I want to make it 20 10. I want to interchange the values between these two variables. Okay. So what we are doing, we are first adding the two numbers here. Okay, after addition, and we are assigning it back to the first number. We are doing the sum of the two numbers, assigning it back to the first number. So after doing addition, the value of first number is 30. Okay. Then what we are doing, now we have got the sum of the two numbers, that is 30. We are subtracting the value of the second number, that is 20. And we are getting the value as 10, which was the value present in the first number, but now it has been moved to second number. Okay. Now second number is having the value of first number. Okay. And the first number is having the sum of the two. So we are just doing a normal subtraction and we are getting the first number. Okay. What I would suggest you try to do this thing manually, by hand in a piece of paper. You will be able to get this. Okay. Okay. So no worries. So okay. So this was done in yeah. So this is the way. But in Python we have another shortcut. We don't have to think so much. subtraction or addition. For swapping two numbers, there's only one simple code what you have to write. First num comma second num equals to second num comma first num. This is what is available in Python without doing all this calculation. So yeah, so we have seen how we give comments, single line comments. If you want to give a multi-line comments, then we have to use this triple quotes. Okay. We have to use this triple quote, and I will give it to this point. So this one has become my comments. Okay, this one won't be executed. Okay, I just did a control X and a paste here. Okay, now if we see without any addition subtraction, we can easily swap the two numbers in a single line. Now if you run this, first number is this, the value is interchanged. Is this clear, guys? Any doubt here? This is also one of the common questions asked in an interview. First, they will test you whether you know this thing, that this thing like this works in Python or not. Okay, if you are able to answer this, yes, we can do like this, a comma b equals to b comma a. Then they will tell you, no, I don't want to do in a single line. Okay, I want to do without using this particular thing. Then you have to come to this addition, subtraction, or multiplication, division, whatever way you want to swap two numbers. So is that clear, guys? Any doubt here so far?
Yes, yes, it is clear. Just a confusion from my side, Danish.
Hmm.
In the second section where you have mentioned how can we swap the values of two numbers with using any third variable, but here we are not using the third variable.
Yes, sorry. Yeah, thanks for correction. Yeah, I changed it. Okay.
Okay.
Here we are using with using, like we were using a temporary variable temp.
Mhm.
Here we are doing without using any temporary, any third variable. Okay, so is this clear, guys? Any doubts so far? Are we good?
Yeah, we will.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's move on to the data types. Now, so far, these values these are static values. We are giving it, we are initializing it. It's not dynamic, it's not changing every time. Okay. So suppose I want dynamic values. I want to take three values: name, age, and height. Okay, I want the user to give this as input. It might change. He might give different inputs at different time. Okay, user has to give input. We are taking input from the user. Okay, so we have a function called input in Python. Okay, suppose name, I'm giving a variable. This name is a variable name I'm using, and I'm using this input function. Okay, and I am trying to print this. So print is also a function. Okay, print is also a function that is used to print anything in the console. We'll talk about print also. Okay, right now we are talking about input only. Okay, we're just printing the name.
So Danish, do we need to save the sheet before executing the code all the time?
Because if you suppose I wrote some new command here, like this. Okay, so it's showing a star. If I try to run it now, run module. So see, we are getting this prompt. Source must be saved. Okay to save, right?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. So we have given an input name. Okay, it is just blinking. This cursor is blinking here. Okay, I am giving my name here, printing the same. Okay, this is one way, but this does not look good. Okay, what we can do, we can and give in single quote or double quote here what input we want for the user to understand. Okay, enter the name. So what will happen? The user will understand what input he has to give. Okay, so if we save and run, this is not required anymore. If we save this and run, so now we are seeing the prompt, enter the name. This is better, right, than that?
So it is more like input box.
It's like the user can understand what he has to input,
Hmm.
right? If we give one string value inside this input function, but without giving this also, it is working. But we have to give some input, but user will not be able to understand, right, what he has to give. Okay, so we are taking name as input. We are taking age as input. We are taking as height as input. So guys, anyone who is from a non-technical background, he is facing difficulty in understanding, please feel free to ask your questions. Okay. There is no harm in asking questions. Even if it's a simple question, you can ask as many questions as you want. Okay. Name, age. No need to be shy what other people will think, other participants. It's totally fine. We all are learning. Okay. So we have taken three inputs, name, age, height. We are trying to print them. Okay. Enter the name, Sam, enter the age, 23, enter the height. Uh, I want to give it in 5'7" 5 or 7. Okay, so we are getting the output. We are printing these things. Okay, now I want to see the data type of each each name, age, and height. Okay, I want to see the data type of them. Okay, how can we do that? We can just give how do you find the data type? Using type function. Okay, remember this. You just have to give this type function before the variable name and enclose the variable name in a bracket. Type of name, type of age, type of height. Enter the name, Sam, enter the age, 23, enter the height, 5.6. So what is the type, guys, of the uh, variables here? Can you tell me by seeing this output? str.
String.
All
Be
are string.
But
like
why it is
integer.
showing string?
It should be an integer, na?
Yes.
Yes, if we do the same thing here, and for name, A for age, and H for height. If you try to see the data type of these, type of N, type of A, and type of H. Okay. I will understand, guys, why it is giving a string. Okay, we'll run this. Enter the name, Sam, enter the age, 26, enter the height, 5.8. So same string, but down what we are having?
Okay.
Second time is
Second
correct.
one is correct.
So what is the problem with this? Can anyone guess? Here it is showing everything is fine, but here it is taking.
Because of that, while we are taking the input, it's take as a string. That's why it's showing string.
Correct. May I know who is
So
this?
instead of a double quote, we can
Yes.
write as only enter the age.
I think it is in double quote. That's why it is showing string.
Is no. No. So suppose I remove this, I don't give any value here. Okay.
The output of input function is a string.
Yes. So suppose I'm not giving double quotes. Okay. Let's run this. Someone told me like we are giving double quotes. That is why it is showing a string. So I just want to clarify that point first. So first we have to give name, then we have to give age, then we have to give height. 4.0. Still we are getting that. See, without giving the value in double quotes, right? So okay, so this input function, let's talk about this. There's a problem with this input function. So what is the use of input function, guys?
To take the
From user.
input from user.
Yes,
User.
it takes the input from the user and converts that to string. This is the default behavior.
Okay.
Technically speaking, we have something called return value that we will understand when we'll go to functions. We have something called return value. This is the value that is returned by the function. So the return value of input function is of string data type. Technically speaking, but right now I'm not going to what is return value. I'm not going into that. Okay. This input is an inbuilt function. Inbuilt. What do you mean by inbuilt? It is present by default in Python. We don't have to import or do anything. Input is an inbuilt function. Input is an inbuilt function. It takes input from the user and converts that to a string. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Now I want to convert this to the appropriate data type, depending on what the input user is giving. Let's remove this. I don't want this. We have another function for that. It's called eval. If I give eval here and put the entire input statement inside this eval bracket, okay, eval we have to giving the input inside this eval one, okay, eval.
What is eval?
It's a function.
Value.
It's the function. I will just tell you what it is. I will just run it and then I will tell you what is the use of this. Okay. Enter the name. Sam is not defined. You mean somewhat happened. It's not. What do you mean Sam is not defined? Any problem? Oops.
In the print section also we have to type eval. So
No. That is not a problem here. Let me run this again. Enter the name. Hey, this is it's not defined. What is the problem with this here? Why it should be defined? This is a variable name. Okay. Just a moment, guys. Let's see why I am getting this weird error.
Can you put the eval on the variable?
Just a moment. Enter the height. So string, integer, float. It's fine. So I guess if it is a string value, then this is then it will not work, because by default it is a string value, not working here. But for age and height, eval is working fine. Okay, this is a new thing. I also learned this. I never faced this error before. Okay, so eval is used to evaluate is used to, it can be used for here. Here we are using eval to convert the input into
Input data type.
appropriate data type. Okay. It can also be. It can
Anis,
yes.
could you please run it once more? And instead of age, you just put your name.
Instead of age, if I give my name, then again I think I should give an error there, right? Enter the age. Again, I give my name. Yep.
Okay, understood.
Okay, so this eval will not work on string. Okay, this I also learned in this class. So it's used to convert into a appropriate data type. It can also be used to do some evaluate some expressions. I will show you how. Evaluate some expressions. So we are clear with the current use of eval, guys, how it is converting it to appropriate data type depending on the input that we are giving. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So also we can, so for example, I want to do a sum of age and height. Okay. Or
So we can say for string type, it will not work. Eval will not work.
yes, we can say that for a string type. For string type, eval should not be used. And there are other alternatives. Anyone? Any question, guys? Okay, I think someone was speaking somewhere else. No problem. If I am muting everyone, those who want to speak, they can unmute themselves. Okay. So we are done with this. What else? What else? Yeah. So this was one way. There are other things like we can use int function. We can use int function to convert string to integer. We can use float function to convert string to float. Okay, so instead of eval, I know age should be in an integer. I can give here int. Okay, and instead of eval for float value, I can give here float. Okay, we are using int function to convert that string to integer, and we are using float function to convert the string to float value. Okay.
Then is one question here.
Yes.
Earlier we have discussed like Python is a dynamic programming language where we no need to define any variable type. But here the same concept is coming now. We are defining the data type.
No, we are not defining actually. We are converting. Int function, it converts an string to integer. We are not defining it. Defining means you have to define here. If I would do this, then this is called defining the data type here.
Okay.
Okay, here these are functions to convert one data type to another data type. Okay.
Understood.
Yeah. So if we run this, enter the name, enter the age, enter the height. Okay, same, we are getting string, integer, float. So any doubt, guys, so far?
No, Danish.
No.
Okay. Now, so we are good with input function. We have seen how to, but so which one is better, eval or giving that specific data type like int or float? What do you think?
Even. If you are not aware about the data types, then you will not be able to use int or float. But eval eventually will give you the result that that data type.
Well, it's
Yes,
better
that's a
than-
very good answer. It's a very good answer. May I know who is this?
Arvind.
Arvind?
Yes, Arvind.
Okay, Arvind. Yes, yeah, it's a very good answer. So I think everybody understood.
Can you repeat and can you recap that what exactly he has answered that?
Yes, yes, sure. So
Sure,
what
right?
he told, yeah, what he told is when, so here we know age is an integer, that is why we are using int. But suppose you don't know what is there are 20 data types, one after another. You have 20 inputs. You are not sure which one will be what. When there is a when you have two options. Two options, integer or float. Okay, you are not sure which one is integer, which one is float. That time, instead of we can use eval, because we are not sure which input is an integer and which input can be float. So that time we can use eval. Eval will be a better option that time. Okay. Let me explain you this with another example. Let's take a num as input. Okay, and I'm using an eval here. Okay, let's try to run this, enter the number. If I give 12, what will be the data type? Without
int.
int, okay. If I run it again, if I give 12.12.0, what will be the data type?
Float.
Okay, so depending on what we are giving, it is converting. We are not using either explicit integer or float here. We are just giving here eval.
Yes. It will not work on string.
Yeah, it will not work on a string. Yes. Because by default it is string, right? We don't need to, we know input function by default, it returns a string.
Yes.
Then is if we will put date here, so will it display date,
What are we going to put here?
any specific date?
We're talking about dates.
Yeah, enter the name and number. You write
Yeah.
there any date like today.
Date, right?
Yes, yes.
No date. See, even if you write date there, what this input function will take it? Input function will take that as a what?
Date data type.
No. Yeah, it will take it as string, right? Because see, we don't have a explicit. So enter the number. You're telling if I give a date here, 20/22-10-18. Okay. So it took this as a integer.
And then why it is taking integer? Do we have the date data type here in the Python?
The date data type is not present in Python. We have another module for date time that we will be covering later. In input, this date time is not a valid. There is no date type. There is no data type as.
So if user wanna take the input from the user as a date type, at that time, what should we need to do? Is there any predefined data type library available there?
1 minute. Yes, we have some modules called date, time, and date time. Okay, we have some modules, so we will be covering it when we will cover modules, right? That time we will see how to convert a string into a date. Okay, right now I am not introducing it, it will be confusing for others. So right now we sticking with the basic data types. When we cover modules, that time we are going to cover this date time.
Sure.
Okay, guys.
And then apart
Yeah.
from this, in
Yeah.
SQL, we study different type of data type, like even we take example of int. So we have big int, the small int, tiny int, like this. So is it similar type of things here or uh, different? I just want to correlate or get data type.
Yeah, so we don't have like integer is not segregated into big int or small int here. Integer is int here, okay?
Okay.
Even the same is applicable in the video also, Visual Basic application. So there also we have long integer, short data type, some kind of this.
In Java also I think it is present, but in Python we don't have that.
STR also, right? STR.
Yeah, we have int, we have lot of data types, but primarily what I am going to cover is I'm going to cover only the important ones. Integer, float, string, bytes, byte array. This will cover later, byte array, because okay, list, set, tuple, dictionary. So we are going to cover these will cover later this, but first initially we'll cover integer, float, string, bytes.
That is one question here, that
Yeah.
eval function, what type of data type it will evaluate and eventually will reflect here. Suppose I have put some Boolean type of data type. So,
Oh yeah, Boolean is also there, correct.
so will the eval function will reflect Boolean? If I had placed
Let's
there
let's
0.
try this. Let's try this. Okay, true. This is a Boolean value. Right, identified, right? It's class Boolean.
So I just wanted a list that whatever you taught us, that eval function will evaluate what type of data type.
Eval
That
function.
would-
Yeah, so the major data types that are available here, right? In Python, it will be evaluating them.
Alright.
Okay. Danish, I have a question.
Yeah.
So when user enter the date, why it is coming as a int?
This one you're seeing why this is coming as int.
Yes.
20. Yes, this is hyphen. That is, yeah. This I also never gave this kind of input, the hyphen. Okay. So
Yeah.
I will check this, guys. Why? I also need to see how this is internally working, because we are given hyphen and all this. Generally we don't give these things. Okay, but I will check this.
Because
Okay.
I'm assuming so
Hmm.
combining number with this character, so it considered as a string.
Yes.
So normally eval will not if we give a string value characters, it
Okay.
will throw error.
Yes, yeah, that we have seen. Yeah.
Yeah, but this hyphen with this hyphen, how it is giving int, I also need to check that. Maybe I will check that and come back. Okay.
Sure. Thanks.
Okay. So that's why I told you, like, Python is like an ocean, guys. So I will also learn with you guys with these kind of questions. Okay. Good, all are good questions. So I think we are almost like 10:30, guys. So we will wrap up the session now. Okay, any question, guys? Anyone before we wrap up the session?
Danish, I have one doubt.
Yes.
Like you were telling about that for first number you assign first some value, like let's say 10.
Hmm.
Then you print the second number, then you
Hmm.
change the value for first number.
Yes.
Okay, so like I could get the concept which you were trying to convey, but I have one doubt. Since you have assigned some value to a variable, then how is it possible to give another value for the same variable? Like logically, how is it possible?
Um. Okay. Logically, how is that? Yeah. So suppose you have a box. Okay. Let's try to explain this rationally. Okay. In that box, you have some biscuits. Okay. So just consider that what do you call, that box is a container. Okay. Now you have taken out that biscuit and put some cake inside it. Okay, but here you have a right question, because we told, right, it's creating a new memory location, right? We are not initializing
Yes.
the same memory, right? So basically it creates a new variable. So even though the name is same, it is creating a new variable. For example, here we have interchange, right? Now the value is
Yes.
changed. Now if you see the memory location, it will be different. I will just show you that.
Yes, you showed memory location is different.
So yes, so that is what is happening. It's pointing to a different memory. It's not the same memory location. It's pointing to a different memory location. It's getting a new variable there.
Okay, so like since the memory location is changing, so
Hmm.
we can infer that the even if the name is same, but it
Yeah.
will treat it as the other variable.
Yes, a new variable. Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Actually,
Thank you.
actually a new object you are initiating, right? With the
Okay,
first.
so I don't want to go into objects and all, because we are it's
Yeah,
too
yeah,
early, right, for this.
yeah, got it.
So that's why I didn't explain with new object. But just you have understood, guys, right? What is happening?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Any other question, guys? We are good to wrap up the session.
One thing I would like to say, Danish,
Yes.
since I am a beginner, like I am seeing it for the first time in my life. I am from a
Yeah.
non-technical background. So I found it like in single class, we were exposed to so many functions.
Correct.
Like it was getting tough for me. Like I don't know about rest of the participants. They may be, it is possible like they may be aware of it. So like for
Right.
me, it was like it was getting bit fast. Okay, like what
Oh,
to see, what not to see. Like eval is there, ID is there, that is there. Is that like it was that I don't
okay.
know, like whether it is fast for me or I don't know.
For others, how is it? How was the pace? Was it too quick or was it okay?
For me, it is good.
Okay, base is okay.
Pace is okay. Yes.
Actually, why you are feeling right? Because new to the programming, right? That's why.
Mhm.
1 or 2 days you will be comfortable, right? So, but because Danish is taking very uh,
Basic level of.
right?
Okay.
Yes, Nishit. So this is a very a normal pace. Might, because that is, yeah, you told now you are from a non-technical background and you are finding it little bit all together, right? Like so
Yeah.
many things, so you are not able to.
Actually, I was comparing it with the SQL batch, since I attended the SQL batch also, but I didn't find like that there. Like
Oh,
I never found ki it is getting fast.
okay, okay,
That
okay.
was also completely foreign language for me.
Right,
That's why I
right.
was comparing it with that batch. It's
Right.
okay, okay. I will see. I will wait for maybe 1 week, then I will see.
So I what my suggestion would be, so you like, see, we have done this class. Okay, I will summarize this and I will prepare assignments also in like the topics which I covered today. Okay, so my suggestion would be, if you spend a little bit more time in assignments. Few things you can Google also what I have taught. So you will read from 2 or 3 sources. Your concept will be even more clearer. You will have better understanding. Okay. So maybe 1 week, 1 week, if you just do the assignments and denote some extra time, then from second week you will be on sync with the other participants.
Yeah, Danish, I will try my level best. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. So guys, what have we covered today? Python features, variables, what is the use of variable? Interchanging the values we have seen, interchanging values of
Function.
things. We have seen some input functions like input and eval. We have seen 2 functions. We have seen print also. We have print is pending. Print needs a very good coverage. Then what else we have covered, guys?
The best practice, what we don't need to use before defining the variable.
Variable naming we have seen, right? Variable naming and best practices in that. We have seen input function, eval function, and int function. We have seen to convert string to one data type to another float. So this we need to cover more, guys. This int function and float function, we need to cover more on this. When it will be failing, I will show you those scenarios. Anything else what we have done? Different data types, int, h, float, we have seen this one. Okay, I think we have covered these many points already. Returning. Yeah, guys. So it's not many topics, right? We have covered only very few topics. We are not covering too much today. Anyways. So this is the thing, and we will be uploading the videos also, guys. And I will be sharing these programs what I have written in these files. Okay, I will just convert them into TXT file, and I will share in that WhatsApp group only with you guys. Okay, these 3 program files, and also I will share the assignments. Okay, and once the video is uploaded, we will be notified in that group that a video is uploaded. Okay. Okay, guys.
So Danish, one question. So
Yeah.
once you upload and send the assignment, so you will send the message in the WhatsApp group, right?
Yeah, yes, correct. I will be sharing the assignments in WhatsApp only, guys. You can open your WhatsApp in your desktop or laptop. You can download the notes, everything from there.
Danish, is there any specific format in which assignment has to be submitted for your review?
I will just show you my previous batch, few assignments, how they used to submit. Just a moment. There's no format. You just have to give the any solutions we have assignment and solution. This is given. You can do it in a notepad also, text file, or few people they do it like this. Like, so this is the question I'm giving. What is difference between this? Okay, here she is answering like this. This is the question, this is the answer. So because if you give, so you can submit in a like normal notepad also. In notepad only I give assignments. You can just give here question number 1. Okay, this is the answer, and you can write your answer here like this. Okay, so but do mention the question, the full question with the answer solution, because I don't have to refer the assignments again. Just give the question name, and after that you can just give the solution here.
So do we need to submit the assignments on WhatsApp only, or do we need
No,
to
you
share it
can,
on?
yeah, you can WhatsApp me in individual chat.
Okay.
You can DM me your assignment in WhatsApp.
Sure.
That is one last request
Yeah.
from my side. So let's stick to our time. This would complete by 10:30. Since I have to go to office as well, I have requested my boss to change the timing from 11 onwards. That's
Yeah,
why
I'm really sorry, because we were good with the session till 10:30, but I think then few people had questions.
no
No problem.
problem.
We'll make sure from tomorrow. We'll make sure we are ending the session at 10:30 sharp. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, guys. Thank you. Any questions? You can ping me separately, guys. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.